Hey everyone, so welcome back to my channel today, and we are going to be doing a brand new Sims 4 build. But today I thought it'd be very fun to build the monster house in the Sims 4 because honestly it's past Halloween, and two, I've been having this video sitting in my folder for quite some time, so I thought why not show you what I've done, because I did build this live on stream on Twitch, so in case you want to go watch it, I will link down my VOD channel down below in the description. But however, this whole house was actually pretty crazy to build because at the end of the day, when you look at the movie poster and how the movie was like working and you know what they were doing, you don't really get to see much of the home. You only technically see the outside of the home and the lawn and somewhat of the inside for a very brief moment towards the end of the movie. And I haven't seen this movie in a very long time. I think it was made in 2006 or something like that. It was a while, and back then I was a youngin'. I think I was like 9 or 10 years old, and this movie was horrifying. Like when watching it, it's like, why does a house come to life and eat people? That's what I think that was the most horrifying thing in the world, that a house was basically a person. Like this old man and his wife, his dead wife now, Constance, were married for a while. She died or something like that, and then her soul became the house, and the house comes to life usually and eats people. And I'm just like, wait. First of all, she died, she becomes the house, and she eats people whoever come near her house. And I'm like, is this the movie appropriate for children? I mean, it was based around Halloween, so of course it was going to be creepy. But I'm like, this is creepier than normal. I mean, Coraline's horrifying, but this one threw me out the water, took my soul out of my body and chucked it in the Mississippi River, because Lord have mercy, this movie was crazy. But if you have seen this movie, let me know in the comments below when you saw this movie, because personally, I know a lot of people have said that this movie was scary, and I can see why. Like when you really think about it, the old man, he is old and crazy. His wife is dead. His wife's soul is a house. If you come near his house, if you have a ball on your lawn, you come near his lawn with a bike or whatever, he'll come out of his house running and screaming, saying, "Get off my lawn! You're hurting her!" And you're obviously thinking like, who's her? What do you mean her? Like, did you name your house? Like, is your house like a she or a he or whatever? And you slowly come to terms and you kind of do some more research of like, okay, this man is crazy. His house is basically his wife. And it kind of gives me an idea of the movie Up a little bit, because I feel like if you've seen the movie Up, I've also built that house in The Sims 4. And it's like two people who love each other very, very much. They got married and they were hoping to have kids, but I think that Constance was like a circus performer or something like that. And Constance saw the old man, they dated for a while, they got married, and I think something tragic happened and she just ended up collapsing and she died. But I never really understood how her soul became the house. I never really understood that. So like that mystery is still like, I'm clueless to that point. But when I was trying to figure out how I was going to make it work with the whole like house on the inside, I just kind of went on a whim and just guessed, because I think somewhere towards the middle of the movie, there's like this old man. I think he's like a salesperson and he's trying to sell the old man something. Like usually they'll come like knocking on your door saying, "Hey, I'm trying to talk to you about your extended car warranty." And you're like, "No, I don't have car warranty." And so the old man was like, "No, get off my lawn." Like it was like literally yelling at him, "Get off my lawn." And I guess the house was like coming to life slowly. And then the house ate the man and you never saw the man again. And you're like, what? Who? Where? And then I also think in the movie, there was some point in the movie there was like the door opened, I think either late at night or like somewhere like in midday where it was like broad daylight. And like the door opened and then a ball was bouncing. And I think either one of the main characters was walking towards the door, or it was like some random child. I don't really know, but I think I saw a ball bouncing. The door was opening. It was dark in the hallway and everything. And I think someone was walking towards it and something happened. I don't know, but still the movie's horrifying. But I do remember at some point towards the end, there was, I think, what was it? I think the house was like going to die soon. And so the furnace is the heart of the home. Constant's soul is the home, which is basically the furnace. And if you destroy the furnace, she dies, the house breaks down, And that's kind of basically the end. And apparently there was a video game made about this movie, and I've never played it, and I kind of want to play it, but I don't want to play it because the game is old, and I don't think I have my old consoles to play it on at the moment. I have my PlayStation 2 and I have my PlayStation 1, so I could probably play it, but I'm like, I'm gonna find some controls to get that working again, because I'm like, I don't know if my Elgato can work with that at right now. I don't know if it can, but it probably could, but I don't want to test it out just yet. But that's beside the point. So the idea of this house is that it was based around Halloween, and I was going to publish it on Halloween. But here's the thing. I just kind of forgot that I had it sitting here. It is up on the gallery if you want to download it for yourself, of course, and renovate it and bring it back to its former glory of what it would be like if it was, fixed up a little bit. But I realized that, again, you don't see much of the home. And so I decided that let's just go on a whim, see what it can do. And I was like, you know what? To make this house more creepier, let's add a bunch of plants and clutter everywhere. Like, if you do not use debug in your builds at all, I feel like you all should. Like, it's a very crazy place to be in, but it's a very fun place to be in, because one, debug has literally everything that your Sims ever use and see. Like, they have old houses from the background of your Sims builds. You have plants, trees, toilet plungers, I don't know, like random plants that normally you wouldn't have in your build and buy catalog, but they have in like debug, in like in the surrounding area, like those buildings you see in like those surrounding areas, it's in debug. Plants are in debug. These cracks on the wall I have are from the Vampire Game Pack. And it's just like, debug is so essential to any build to make it more personalized and more unique, in my humble opinion, because I feel like with the bare basics, you're not really getting the full value out of it. And so I think that if you utilize different, knick-knack, paddywhacks, give a dog a bone, you have those things to make it more exciting. And so clutter is necessary. And that's why I feel like with the movie, you don't really get to see much of it, but I feel like this would be the house towards the end when it was all broken down, or, the old man dies, which he did die in the movie. Spoiler alert. The man dies from a heart attack, basically, from not over exhaustion, from anger, basically. I don't know what happened, but I think he had a stroke and then died. But regardless, he's dead. And the house, I think, just ended up going ballistically crazy that her husband died. And when you have a soulmate that you loved very, very much for so long and they die, you kind of go a little bit crazy. And so I think that's kind of when my idea of thinking about this movie was related to Up a little bit, in a way, but in a creepier version, where when you think about it, both of the other people, both Carl and the old man in this movie, are both old and elders. They were both married. Both of their wives died. They were both wanting to have kids, didn't get them. And it's just like a 360, because Up was made years later, but then this movie was like first, in a way, when you really, really think about like that backstory of it all. Because I mean, the wives are dead. They wanted to have kids. They've been married. They've met before. They hung out. They've dated. They have a house together. And it's now like they're just old and sad and depressed. And however, with Carl from Up, he was like all, grumpy. And a Boy Scout came along and wanted to help him get better. And he became happy and playful and lovely. But this old man in Monster House was old, senile, and crazy. Well, not really senile. Maybe a little bit senile. But he was a little bit crazy and depressed and sad that his wife died. And his wife became the home. And anything that basically harmed his wife / home, he would go crazy. And I feel like this is like the scarier version of Up, where what if Carl went crazy and basically just was like, I can't do it. But like, also, like, when you think about it, Carl's house that he built is kind of like Ellie, because I don't know, like, it's so, like, my brain is so weird sometimes, because my brain thinks of weird things at random moments, and I'm just like, wait, is Up and Monster House the same thing, but in two different timelines and 2 different years? Are they the same person? No, they're not the same person. But what if they were the same person, but like alternate universes where you have a good ending, but also a very bad ending? Whoa, 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 whoa. That's crazy. Okay. I don't know. Anyway, I just think that this whole house was just fun to build, regardless of like what the house looked like on the inside. And again, own interpretation, not really exact replica, because I feel like if I built it exactly the way it was supposed to be, it wouldn't look as good. Plus, it would look very boring and bland. And sometimes movies don't really do the full extent of the exterior of homes. They mainly do more of the interior of what it's going to look like. And so personally, I did it justice. So, plus I feel like the old man does not eat at all. And I feel like he just has all these things that are just here, and he gets money from the government where he doesn't have to pay for anything. Is probably retired military or something like that, a veteran and all. And he ended up, having this home, built it from scratch. It was nice looking for a minute. Wife died. It became old, sad, and decrepit and very creepy looking. So I've added in a bunch of like vampire prints on the wall, more cobwebs from the vampire game pack. And I just added in like random things that I feel like would seem fitting. I don't know. I think it looked really cool on what I've done. And so personally, I think that adding in these like random things like that couch, that coffee table, that fireplace is very out of place, but I feel like I tried to make it make sense. And I think I did okay, honestly. I feel like I had fun. I did have fun. But I think I definitely want to do something that's a little bit more, I guess, dated or like more upbeat in a way, because this is out of season. Like I said, it was supposed to be for Halloween, but I just kind of forgot. I was like, oh, back of my mind, and I just kind of forgot. But I think that it definitely, it's still relevant, I tend to build houses from movies and TV shows that I've either, have watched or heard of, or I've read a book and I wanted to kind of add my imagination to the game from that book, movie, or TV show I've seen or read. And I think the next one I want to build is definitely either the Brady Bunch house or the, I don't know, probably the Golden Girls house, or I don't know, it's like some other like random houses or apartments I've seen or read of. And if you have any ideas on what I could build next from like a TV show or movie, let me know in the comments below, because personally I am up for the challenge. I've always wanted to build Phineas and Ferb's house and like Good Luck Charlie's house, and all of like my favorite Disney like movies I've grown up with, I want to build in The Sims. Like I've built the Proud Family house before, and it was so much fun to build that house, and they're doing a reboot of it called The Proud Family Louder and Prouder. I think it's coming out next year. So I think that it could be fun to definitely dive deep into my childhood again to see what I could do with it. And it's going to be a interesting year towards the end of the year, because it's already November and we have 1 month left until 2022. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, excuse me? Where has the time gone? You blink and it's already the end of the year. It's like, I don't even know the sense of time, the day, or the year anymore. I just know I'm existing slowly and slowly decaying, but it's okay. I think, I don't know, but at the end of the day, I think that I'm becoming very delirious at this point, because one, it is 9:30 in the morning and I'm not a morning person. But I think this house, looking at it from where it started and where it's ending, it ended really, really good at the end of the day. And I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all liked it. Give me some feedback on what I could do better, what I could change, what I could do next. Because personally, I will literally build anything. Especially, I have to have an excuse to use more clutter and plants, because today is the day that the new plant kit comes out, the Blooming Rooms kit comes out, and I just need another excuse to add more plants to a build more than anything. So I'm like, probably build Sky High or something, a plant crazy person apartment. We'll just have to see. I'll find a way. I'll find like a movie or TV show I've seen that involves plants, and I will use it to my advantage to build it in The Sims 4 and go with the flow. But either way, I think I'm going to leave you off here, but let's go ahead and hop into the real-time tour. So honestly, at the end of the day, I didn't think this house was going to turn out the way it did, but I'm glad I did what I did to make it happen. Because personally, with the monster house in the movie, you don't really see much of the interior, nor do you have a lot of stuff on the exterior of the home. And I went and used my imagination to kind of see what I could do, especially with all the landscaping and using all like basketballs and random mops and school projects and boxes and logs and trees from debug, and see what I could do. And personally, if this wasn't like an IRL house that was old and decrepit and been there for so many years deep in the woods, it would look like this. And so personally, I used a real life like idea with a movie idea and combined it together, and I made this. And of course, there's a dead body outline on the front porch. No need to worry about that. It's just there for aesthetics. Of course. It's not like anybody died here. No, clearly no one died here. It's just an old house with just some random mysteries and maybe a scandal or two, but that's beside the point. No one died here. Clearly. Not even the grave back there. No one died. It's just, again, aesthetics. But anyway, I really had so much fun doing the exterior. As you can see, as you all know, I love plants. Plants are my life. Plants are me. I am one with the plants. I am a plant. And so I added a bunch of like vines and random knickknacks around the back of the house, or the front of the house, and also the back of the house, because I thought no one really sees the back of a home in movies anyway, unless it's like part of the story. But in Monster House, I don't think they showed the backs of the home at all. And of course, you don't really get to see much of the inside of the home in the movie. And so I added in my own interpretation of what I thought it would look like. And the only thing you technically, I guess, you see is the door opening and a tongue kind of rolling out, which is aka a rug. And Constance is the house. Constance is the old man's dead wife, who is basically, her soul is the home. If you disturb the home, she comes to life and eats people, which is creepy. But I think you only see like a rug, and the rug is red. And so I made a sized up rug here that was technically kind of sized down, but I sized it to make it a little bit bigger. But here's the living room of what there is. I would assume they would have pets that probably have died and ran away. I also added in like some random like posters from the Vampire Game Pack, and like this mirror from, I think, Kids From Stuff, and some books that I feel like they would learn a lot. And since I think in the movie Constance was like a circus performer or something like that, and I would assume a microphone, because she could probably sing, so microphone right there, some painting here, a little violin, some knitting, and then I would assume that he would have like an office. Of course, I added an office, bathroom, of course, going to go somewhere. And then the kitchen, you don't see the kitchen in that movie at all. Nowhere, no to be seen. No kitchen of any kind. But I added one in just because, why not? And of course, I think they got married and they want to plan to have a baby. So I added in this creepy vampire crib here. And since Constance is dead and her soul is the house, I would assume that he probably kept her dead body either in the backyard or on the second floor. I don't really know. He kept a casket in his house to say she's not dead. She's alive. She's here. She's thriving. She's doing her thing. She is the home. She is me. We are one. We are one person. And so I kept the little like casket here. That's from Vampires, of course. And then for my favorite part of the home that I thought was like, just like the tip of the iceberg, the tip of the cake, was the basement, because the basement is technically the heart of the home in the movie. And if you break the furnace, you kill the house, you kill Constance. And so I thought, why not add in these special effects from Realm of Magic to signify that the furnace is being blown up and the house is becoming broken down and Constance is dying, the old man is dead, and you basically solve the mystery of Monster House. But anyway, I do hope you all enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments below, as always, on what kind of house I should build next in The Sims 4 from a movie or a TV show, because I would really, really love that. Because I think I might build the Brady Bunch house next, or the Golden Girls house, or That 70s Show, or Good Luck Charlie, or Phineas and Ferb's house in The Sims 4, and kind of see what I can do with that. Because personally, Disney is me, Disney is where I thrive, and I love Disney, and that's all you need to know. But as always, I do hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!